in the spirit of Valentine's Day, we're going to talk about Magic the Gathering cards we love. We got to play them in our decks. We want them in there, but they don't really fit. Or maybe they don't fit anymore. I'll start on behalf of the entire Merfolk community with Kira Great Glass Spinner. A blue 1 generic 2/2 creature with flying, and has this amazing ability where whenever a creature you controls, whenever a creature becomes the target of a spell or ability for the first time each turn, counter that spell or ability. And it's great at protecting your creatures. The problem is this card is a little bit slow. Also not really a Merfolk. So it's a little clunky trying to play this thing off of your Cavern of Souls and your Mutavaults. And yeah, that's about it. So it used to be way more playable back then. And now people, they play it because they love it. Now, my brother also plays Merfolk, but he's got a little bit more of a spicier type of card that he jams in his decks. Well, what do we got here?
It's Memnite.
It's Memnite. Why? Why do you play Memnite?
It's free.
It's 0 mana. So it doesn't cost you anything, apparently, to put in the deck.
That's right.
So do you take any cards out in order to squeeze this thing in there?
No.
Nope.
Not really.
Just so we go to how many cards are in the deck?
Over 60. Under 80.
And not only Memnite, we also have Ornithopter. Got to squeeze in that one as well.
It's flying. It takes 2 damage.
Yeah. So great blocker.
Yeah, in the early game.
Survives Ren in 6.
So it can survive a lot of things, in fact.
Oh, great. All right, so let us know your favorite cards and where you play them. Context might matter. Abzo says, Fiend Hunter, always put in my white commander deck. So we got the Fiend Hunter in there. Fiend Hunter ain't too terrible, except it's vulnerable to any creature removal. Actually, I guess there is a big problem with this thing. So white 1 generic for a 1/3. Enters the battlefield, exile another target creature, only temporarily though, because when Fiend Hunter leaves the battlefield, return the exiled creature to the battlefield under its owner's control. It's always vulnerable to the big sweeper, the big shabam. Imagine someone plays, what is it, Worldfire after Fiend Hunter, after you have this Fiend Hunter in play. Then everyone has nothing on the battlefield except they got their creature back, right? And it's gonna like kill everyone after the Fiend Hunter, after the Worldfire put everyone down to 1. So very vulnerable to the sweepers. We've got David. David with the Fiend Artisan. Fiends everywhere. Oh yes, the weird, awkward birthing pod creature. This card looks really fun on paper, but I'm sure it's just insanely awkward to actually play. So for Golgari mana, we've got a 1/1 Nightmare. Gets +1/+1 for each creature card in your graveyard. So in theory, it could be enormous, right? It could be like a 20/20 creature if your graveyard is stockpiled enough. And with a Golgari tapping an X, sack another creature, just not lovely to do. Search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost X or less. Put it onto the battlefield and shuffle your library. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. So going all in on that Fiend Artisan. Sounds good. You fill up the graveyard, you tutor for the creature you have in play, but it's very clunky. You know, it's a clunky-ish creature. And it's getting, you know what's another problem with this? The bigger it gets, the harder it is you want to sack a creature. So you have like a 10/10. Do you really want to tutor for something, or do you want to attack with your 10/10? But whatevers. Dr. Django with the Spore Frog. What's your opinion on this card? So it's a 1 green 1/1. You can sacrifice it. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn.
It's a fog frog.
It's exactly what it is. In fact, it probably should have been called that, the Fog Frog. Welcome, Fog Frog. But that being said, no one's going to waste their big attack.
Frog.
We all remember that time that made a big attack. We sacked the Spore Frog, brick the whole thing, crack back for the win. Got to relive those moments today. Alpha Nerd, thanks so much for the super chat. Master Transmuter. In your Esper deck, a blue 3 generic 1/2, pay a blue, tap, return target artifact you control to its owner's hand. You may put an artifact card from your hand onto the battlefield. It's like a it's not like Tinker. Not quite. So what artifact are you trying to put in play in an Esper deck?
Battle Skull.
And it's like 4 mana, so that that implies that you're trying to put something like insanely expensive back on onto the battlefield. But you have a lot of targets, right? You probably have Soul Ring, Mana Crypt, Mana Vault. Just Mana Vault this thing back in. Actually, that's pretty cool. Mana Vault this card into play. It's not going to untap, right? But then you pay the ability, return the Mana Vault back to your hand, put another artifact back onto. You would just put Mana Vault back in play. Does that work? Because that's part of the. It's not really part of the cost. Return an artifact you control back to its owner's hand, and then you put the Mana Vault back in play. I like it. Daniel with the super chat with Hasran Ogress. Ogress, best 2-pip black creature. Is that right?
Whoa.
Don't worry. Just look below. Don't look too high. Okay, so black. Look at those teeth. Is this a vampire? Oh, no, it's an ogre. All right, a 3/2. Whenever Hasran Ogre attacks, it deals 3 damage to you unless you pay 2? All right. Is this... No, this cannot be the best 2 black... There's better. There's better 2 black pips out there. All right.
Why isn't that legal in Modern?
It just wasn't printed in a Modern legal set. Must be a really old card. Yeah, oh, it was printed in Chronicles. Where it came out in Arabian Nights. The OG, one of those old Gs. Yeah, we all love Spore Frog. Who doesn't love Spore Frog? Approaching Calamity. Thanks so much for the super chat.
Thank you.
Was that Nika, bro? Have a Pepsi. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to gouge me.
When we go to Fusion later.
He spends all my store credit money on chips and Pepsis and snacks and Red Bulls. What else do you get there?
That about sums it up. Oh, and Black Lotuses.
Oh, yeah. All the Black Lotuses you can get with my store credit. Das demands. Phyrexian Obliterator. Well, this is not a bad card to play. I guess the only downside to this card, it might be like how easy it is to cast. For black, a 5/5 trampler, whenever a source deals damage to Phyrexian Obliterator, that source's controller sacrifices that many permanents. Just leave it on blocking duty. This actually is an amazing card. It's a good card to fall in love with. No one will even dare attack you so long as the Obliterator is on blocking duty. Look at that tail.
Pretty long.
I didn't make any notice of that. It's like it's a super Obliterator, like Super Shredder. Abza with Colossus Hammer. Wait, do you play this in a non-hammer deck?
It's just for fun. Just the one of.
They'll never see it coming.
It's Bogle deck.
You snap. Oh no, actually they will see it coming. You have to spend 9 mana on this. 1 mana, then the 8 mana to equip. Hey Nikachu, I'd like to play Quicksilver Amulet in Eldrazi. Is it silver or sliver? I thought it was quick. Oh, it's Quicksilver Amulet. Yeah, it's a 4 mana artifact. Pay 4 tap. You may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. They gotta know it's coming, though. They've gotta know it's coming. So you easily get to Tron mana. And then, like, what are you trying to put, like, outrageously large? I guess that gets around, like, land destruction. So if they, like, blow up your lands, if you're having trouble versus Blood Moon, they're like, well, joke's on you, Quicksilver Amulet. Still gonna get them, I don't know, Emrakul's in play.
Platinum Empyrean.
Ulamog. Oh, you won't get the cast trigger off of Ulamog, though. But, yeah, you still get a lot of other stuff. A lot of good stuff in there. Oh, we got Niels Nielsen. I haven't seen you in years. Okay, Cheville. Cheville, Bane of Monsters. Just because I played it in some Jund control deck on Historic Cheville was surprisingly good, though. All right, this is the green-black 1/3 Death Toucher. It doesn't have something to do with Infect. At the beginning of your upkeep, if your opponents control no permanents with bounty counters on them, put a bounty counter on target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Whenever a permanent on opponent controls with a bounty counter on it dies, you gain 3 life and draw a card. Why do you gain the 3 life and draw a card? Shouldn't be anyone gains the 3 life and draw a card. Hence, it's a bounty. You get what I'm saying? And I think that would be a much more interesting creature. Whenever there is a counter, I guess it has to be any opponent. Whenever a permanent an opponent controls, dies, you get... No, it's just you. You only get the benefit. I think that would be more interesting. Anybody gets the benefit. So you put the bounty counter. And then basically anyone at the board is like, oh, I want to kill that creature. Everyone has that incentive to collect the bounty. We got Woodland Chef. Thank you so much for the super chat. Nezumi Grave Robber. Oops. Put grave twice. But they knew what I was talking about. Black 1 generic for a rat rogue. A 2/1 rat rogue with the activated ability of a black 1 generic. Exile target card from an opponent's graveyard. If no cards are in the graveyard, or if no cards are in that graveyard, flip Nezumi Graveyard. Let's flip it. It turns into Night Eyes the Desecrator, a 4/2 rat wizard. The rat wizard over here. Pay a black for generic. Put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Neat card.
Very
cool stuff.
ability.
Oh, you think so, huh?
Might as well just do that other thing that guy did when he put the Chancellor of the Dross back on. Reanimate Dead?
Animate Dead, yeah.
Animate
but you
Dead.
can't animate Dead the other side.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay. Listen, my brother. Just do it anyway. Sugarcane. Thanks so much for the super chat. Demir Cutpurse. What is this? Black blue 1 generic for a 2/2. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, that player discards a card and you draw a card. That's amazing! It's a spirit! Spirit that doesn't fly. It does not have unblockable. This is sweet. I love the cards. Deal damage, draw a card. This one also makes your opponent discard. Combat damage to a player.
Modern legal.
I've never heard of this card before. Oh, is there no music? Hold on. Maybe I forgot the music. Sorry about that. It's the best part of Coffee and MTG. Screw my commentary. The music is everything. All right, we got to get them through them super chats. Herbert, Apprentice Wizard. Mana ramp in blue, kind of slow though, and filters to colorless to make colors awkward. Blue 1 generic human wizard. Oh my goodness, it is mana ramp. Pay a blue tap. Well, yeah, color filtering for colorless. I didn't know we could even do this in blue. We spend you gotta spend mana to make mana around here. Alpha Nerd is back. Magistrate Sphinx in Commander with Master Transmuter. Oh, this is what you're trying to put back into your hand. Magistrate. I know what you're talking about now. I know. I didn't write that. Magistrate? I did that. The Sphinx, right? I know what you're talking about. Something 8 Sphinx. Not class. I don't know what the Sphinx is. I know what you're talking about. It's the Esper Sphinx, right? What's the Esper Sphinx? Magister Sphinx. Magister Sphinx. There we go. This is what we were trying to master transmute back into play. So you return the Soul Ring or Mana Vault, you put the Sphinx in play. Enters the battlefield, target player's life total becomes 10. GG. Oh, you people love sharing your cards. All right, we got to get to the next one. Emixian, Blood Sun, not the moon one. Really good. Don't see it much. Actually, there are decks built with this around Lotus Field. Because when Lotus Field enters the battlefield, you don't have to sack your lands. So you basically just got a Black Lotus. A Black Lotus land for this. Great synergy with the Blood Sun. Because when it enters the battlefield, you draw a card. So you got value. And all lands lose all abilities except mana abilities. Great for the Lotus Field. Josh Karen with the super chat. Cosmos Elixir. So does that mean you guys couldn't hear my super chats either? Alright, we got the Cosmos Elixir for 4 generic. It's an artifact at the beginning of your end step. Draw a card if your life total is greater than your start life total. Otherwise, you gain 2 life. Gain 2 life every single turn. And we got some feedback. It is really good. Okay, we got Gayer here with the super chat. Meltdown in Commander wipes clues. No one likes clues. No one likes treasure tokens. Wipes clues, treasures, and foods for 1 red. Don't have a meltdown, man. Okay, red axe. Yeah, destroy each artifact with total casting cost X or less. That looks like a really good card. Oh, it is a really good card. Look at that. It's oh, you can't see it. It's $10. Yeah, that like wipes out everything. Like not even the treasures. It's also and it's X or less. So you just go like a meltdown for 1. All right, blow up all your soul rings and stuff. GG. GG mana vault. Everyone with expensive cards. Salud.
Salute meowing.
Salute meowing in the background. I don't know if it's loud enough. You guys can hear it. Dancing Odie with the super chat. Nikachu, I got a girlfriend a few days ago. Oh, yes. It calls for another sound effect. I have a girlfriend this Valentine's Day. There's hope for all of us Magic nerds. Congratulations. Treat her well. That's love at first sight. Oh, that might have been a good show, too. Love cards. We had love at first sight. All right, you heard that sound. We're going to look at more Magic cards you guys love. We got to thank our sponsors, FusionGamingOnline.com. And if you love Secret Lairs, you know where to get them from. Deal of the week this week. Save 15% off all Secret Lair singles and box sets at FusionGamingOnline.com. Don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders because I love renting Magic cards online. Playtesting different decks, different variation. I've playtested Mono Blue Spirits, Bant Spirits. I gotta try out Azoria Spirits. And you can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_3RS at checkout. To rent Magic cards for Magic the Gathering Online. All right, let's look at your other cards here. What else do we got in the queue here? Dan with Infernal Genesis. The hell is this? Black 4 generic enchantment. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player puts the top card of his or her library into his or her graveyard. He or she then puts X/1/1 black minion creature tokens into play, where X is that card's converted mana cost. Oh, and come again. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, they mill. Then you put X/1/1 creatures. Oh, okay, so I'm guessing you try to stack your own deck? Not with Emrakul, because that's illegal. But probably something else, something big. Yeah, gotta have something big and expensive on top. All right, Mr. Deadhead says, Lifeline. The hell is this card? 5 mana artifact. Whenever a creature is put into a graveyard and a creature is in play, return that creature from your graveyard to play at end of turn. Oh, so long as something's in play, nothing can ever die. Whenever a creature is put into a graveyard and a creature is in play, any creature. Oh, that's interesting. Nothing dies. So basically, you sweep it all or you sweep nothing. I like that. The Goblin Trash Masters. Thanks so much. Oh, Deathrite Shaman. And a close second is Goblin Trash. The Goblin Trash Masters, Deathrite Shaman, the 1-mana Swiss Army knife. It's got no home. Oh, you can play it in Pioneer. It's not as good there. Tap, exile lands, add mana, pay a black, exile instant or sorceries. Your opponents lose 2 life, and of course, eat up the creatures in the graveyard for a green and gain 2 life. Fireburn! Goblin Rabble Master is my best friend forever, and I love him. So you're telling me you love the mono red decks in Modern. Red 2 generic 2/2, or maybe you're a Goblin player. It's a Goblin Warrior. Other goblin creatures you control attack each turn if able. Charge! Send them in there. Yeah, goblins are like that. They're just, they'll sacrifice their cousins to a slingshot. At the beginning of combat on each turn, though, get a 1/1 red goblin creature token with haste. And whenever all the goblins attack, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each other attacking goblin. Goblin Rabble Master just gets buff for all the other attacking goblins. Dr. Django! It's alchemy, but I love Oracle of the Alpha. Oh, God. Is this card in any risk of getting its rules changed? Blue 2 generic 2/3 flyer. Enters the battlefield, conjure the power 9 into your library, then shuffle. When Oracle of the Alpha attacks, scry 1. Why can't we have cards like this in Magic the Gathering? In theory, you could make this work in paper. Like, you could have you could have cards from outside. I mean, all it's saying is take cards from outside the game and put them in your deck, essentially.
It would be a fun card to play in Modern.
Conjure your sideboard into your deck. Broman with Thalid. Thank you very much for the super chat. What is Thalid? There's a lot of Thalids out there. You gotta be a little bit more specific, Pox, man. It's a little bit more specific.
All of them.
Okay, if you be a little bit more, I'll try to catch your comment later. Okay, King Ginger gotta go. What did King Ginger say? My pet card is Viridian Revel. Viridian Revel. Best G enchantment ever. Green, 1 generic enchantment. Whenever an artifact is put into an opponent's graveyard from the battlefield, you draw a card. Anywhere, anybody's artifact. That is bonkers. And there's probably tons of loops you can do. You play like Mishra's Bauble, crack it. All right, went to the graveyard, gonna draw myself a card. That's a sweet card. I like that. I never heard of that card before. Okay, bro, man, are we a little bit more specific here? No, we still don't got it.
Somebody said you passed it.
Oh, I passed it? I did not pass. Oh. I don't think so. I don't see it anywhere. Okay. Next card. Braids, apparently.
He meant the OG Thalid, just called Thalid.
Braids, Cabal, Minion. Okay, I'll look at Thalid. Just one. Okay, I got it. That's a problem. Black, 2 generic, 2/2. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacks an artifact, creature, or land. But this is banned in Commander. Where can you play this thing? It's illegal! It's like nowhere good to play it. You can play it in Modern, I guess. It is legal. It's Modern legal now because they printed it in the what's it called, the Modern Horizon set. Play it as much as you want. Okay, let's look at Thalid again. So there's like an actual Thalid.
The OG.
The OG, the one that just says Thalid. This is like when I look up Fury, and there's like a million Fury cards. All right, a green 1/1 fungus. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a spore counter on Thalid. Remove 3 spore counters from Thalid. Put a 1/1 green sapling creature token onto the battlefield. That is so underwhelming. I can't even begin to explain it. It's because there's like no way of getting more upkeeps. It's only your upkeep. Man, but are you going to be so proud when you make your 1/1 green sapling creature token? One at a time. Spartan, Nikachu, been watching your videos but was never able to catch it live until today. Big fan of the videos. Thank you so much, Spartan. I really appreciate it. Look at him. Here's Broman telling us the card is literally named Thalid. Yeah, I didn't. Well, at first it looked like there was a million Thalids. Hickawan Dean, thanks so much for the super chat. Deck of many things for card draw and graveyard. The deck of many. This is an actual card. This sounds like an unglued card. The deck of many things. Like every commander deck out there. 5 mana for a legendary artifact. Pay 2, tap, roll a d20. Oh, you're gonna love this. This is probably your set. My brother loves the randomness. Okay, roll a d20 and subtract the number of cards in your hand. If the result is 0 or less, discard your hand. Oh, God. Okay, 1 to 9. Return a card at random from your graveyard to your hand. 10 to 19. Draw 2 cards. And if you roll the 20, put a creature card from any graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. When that creature dies, its owner loses the game. The owner loses the game. Not the controller. So you steal it from someone else's graveyard. If it dies, it's
everything.
Yeah, it is. You like this card? You're gonna play this in Modern now?
Yeah, this is actually pretty great.
Roll them d20. Gonna get that 20. Take your.
Does it work on MTGO though?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
It's annoying, but yeah, it works. Okay, we got Jesse here with Miri's Guile. Miri's Guile. 1 green enchantment. During your upkeep, you may look at the top 3 cards of your library and put them back in any order. Oh, yes. Ponder at any cost. Or at the cost of a green. Approaching Calamity. Paradox Haze. Oops. You can, 2, get extra upkeeps. Oh, is that right? So enchant player at the beginning of... So this is how we're going to make more saprolings out of the Thalid. We got the solution has been found by approaching calamity. Enchant player. At the beginning of enchanted player's first upkeep each turn, that player gets an additional upkeep step after this turn. DK Sovereign with the last laugh. Alright, last laugh. Black, 2 generic. Whenever a permanent other than last laugh is put into a graveyard from play, last laugh deals 1 damage to each creature and each player. When no creatures are in play, sacrifice last laugh. Who had the last laugh here? Oh my god. Oh my god. Monster CC with Silvergill Adept. Me too. Mostly because I actually really love this picture. And this foil is actually beautiful. It's one of the best foils in the Modern Merfolk deck. Blue 1 generic 2/1 creature. It's an additional cost to play Silvergill Adept. Reveal a Merfolk card from your hand or pay 3. When Silvergill Adept comes into play, draw a card. Now, I gotta admit, like, there's a rise. There seems to the successful Merfolk decks seem to be ones that don't play Silvergill Adept in the main deck, but they still have them in the sideboard. So I guess that's something that we gotta, you know, play more often.
What's the most expensive version?
With Silvergill Adept?
Yeah. Viola Prince.
Foil Japanese, foil Russian, Lorwyn is probably what it is. But well, you can see all the prints here.
But
the Rivals of Ixalan promos, $1.84.
Is this literally all of them?
That's all of them.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. We got Jace, Architect of Thought. We used to be the second best Jace out there. Now it's like the 4th best Jace. Or maybe it is still the 2nd best Jace. All right. Blue 2 generic. 4 loyalty. +1. A creature an opponent controls gets. Oh, sorry. All creatures your opponents control. Whenever they attack, they get -1, -0. -2. You get a mini factor fiction of 3 cards. And -8. For each player, search that player's library for a non-land card and exile it. Then that player shuffles. You may cast those cards without paying their mana cost. A really goofy card if you've got, like, what, doubling season out? Double the loyalty and immediately go -8. I've lost to that card many times.
Like
many
once.
times.
Maybe once. Maybe twice.
All right, Carl. The overwhelming intellect.
Set.
There it is. Overwhelming intellect. It's pretty bad, but you feel so big brain against someone's 6+ drop in commander. Blue, 4 generic. Instant. Counter target creature spell. Draw a card equal that spell's converted mana cost. That's not bad. That's not especially if you're playing battle cruiser or commander.
That brain looks pretty smooth,
It's like,
actually.
They're like looking, yeah, very, very smooth brain.
There's not very deep ridges on that.
You lost to the smooth brain spell. They're like looking at all your mana. It's the blue player. They gotta have a counter spell. Whatever, we're gonna make them play it. It's called flavor text. My brain hurts. Connor, thank you so much for the super chat. Hornet Nest. That's a pretty sweet card. You sort of need someone to play into it, but it's still a sweet card. Green 2 generic, 0/2 defending insect. But whenever it's dealt damage, create that many 1/1 green insect creature tokens with flying and death touch. And they are deadly. Deadly. What cards qualify? Whatever you love, Seth. Whatever you love. Your favorite cards. The cards you fall in love with. This is another one of those sort of like, you like the old Masticore. Is there any way to make this card playable? I think it's this one. Let's get the Urza's Destiny. I like it's so the old frame is really nostalgic. 4 mana for a 4/4 creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, you have to discard a card or sack this thing. What a dilemma. Pay 2, deals 1 damage to target creature. Pay 2, regenerate Masticore. It's amazing how this was like one of the most broken creatures at the time. Now, by today's standards, it should be in a bulk bin. It would be in a bulk bin if it wasn't part of the reserve list. This is like the cheapest reserve list card out there. Will you get mad at me if I say Bitter Blossom? I won't get mad because I know this is why everyone loves this card. Everyone just it's more love than good. It will definitely be, it should be on my thumbnail. This might be the thumbnail card. Black 1 generic. Fairy enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and create a 1/1 black fairy rogue creature token with flying. You will die loving this card. It's love to die for, or a card to die for. And you will die. I've killed a lot of people because they just killed themselves. It's like, I put them down to 7, they slam Bitter Blossom. I'm like, all right, the clock is ticking. You have 7 turns to make use of this thing, or you dead. The Monocle Rogue with the super chat. Love your content, Nikachu. Shout out to Lazav Demir Mastermind. Lazav. The Mastermind. Very dark. What is he? Oh, he's a shapeshifter. Black, black, blue, blue for a 3/3 with hexproof. Whenever a creature card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, you may have Lazav Demir Mastermind become a copy of that card, except its name is Lazav Demir Mastermind. So it's like, you turn into Bob. Okay, we know you're Lazav, damn it. It's legendary in addition to its other types and has hexproof and this ability. It's actually a neat card. EH with the Mind Leech Mass. Black, whoa, my god. My goodness. All right, black, black, blue, 5 generic, so it's 8 mana. 6/6 horror with trample. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may look at that player's hand. If you do, you may play a non-land card from it without paying that card's mana cost. That's actually pretty boss. That has huge upside.
Legal and modern.
Yeah, okay, go play it. I don't even know where it would be useful against. Alpha Nerd, thanks so much for the super chat. For your brother, Wizard's Spellbook.
All right.
Wizard's Spellbooks.
Another Peppy.
Oh, another die roll card. Blue, blue, 5 generic artifact. Tap, exile target instant or sorcery card from a graveyard. Then roll a d20. Activate only as a sorcery. So if you get 1 to 9, copy that card. You may cast the copy. 10 to 19, copy that card. You may cast the copy by paying 1 rather than paying its mana cost. Or if you roll the 20, copy each card exiled with Wizard's Spellbook. You may cast any number of copies without paying their mana costs.
That's pretty sweet.
You heard him. It's pretty sweet. Slack. We got Soothsaying. Wonder how expensive that foil is. So it's a blue enchantment. You'd also love this card because for a blue 3 generic, you can shuffle your library.
We looked at this one when I was trying to raid base cards or whatever. Yeah, you can shuffle your library at any time with this thing.
He thinks that's broken. You can shuffle your library anytime? I mean, in theory, if you could do it for 0 mana, it would be broken because you would just, like, keep shuffling until you see, you get the card that you want on top. Okay, pay X, look at the top X cards of your library and put them back in any order. And you're like, this is all garbage. Just shuffle it all away.
Yeah, you should be able to shuffle your deck at any time anyway.
Christopher B with Coralash.
You should be able to just call a judge and say, I want to shuffle my deck.
What is this? Black, black, 2 generic. Legendary creature, zombie warrior. Coralash, heir to Blackblade's power and toughness are each equal to the number of swamps you control. It's like a swamp king of some sort. You can regenerate for a black 1 generic, but it's got Grandeur. Discard another card named Coralash. Search your library for up to 2 swamp cards. Put them into play tapped, then shuffle your library. Interesting. And you can just do that for nothing, right? You just discard, just keep discarding your Coralashes and ramping onto the battlefield. Hold on, that's completely useless in Commander, though. Because you need, like, the second card named Coralash. Or how many Coralashes are there? No, it has to be Coralash, heir to Blackblade. Oh, well. Happy Mass, Thief of Hope.
Somebody says Master of Waves.
Oh, Michael prays. Black 2 generic for a 2/2 Spirit. Whenever you cast a Spirit or Arcane spell, the opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. It's like, what's it called? Extort. And then Soul Shift 2. When this creature dies, you may return target Spirit card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand.
He has babies.
That's value.
He has babies.
You. Yeah, it does have babies. I understand how the babies are flying. They have some sort of wings. I don't understand how this thing's flying. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. Maybe it's being propped up from the ground from a really long, snaky leg. Master of Waves. From Michael. Yeah, I love this card too. I said there are some people in my community still playing this card because they love it. Blue 3 generic 2/1. Merfolk Wizard. Protection from red. Also gives all the elementals +1/+1. And when it enters the battlefield, you get a 1/0 elemental equal to your devotion to blue. Oh, Emixian, thank you very much for the super chat. Prototype Portal. Oops, Prototype Pot? Nope, Portal. Prototype Portal for 4 generic. Did you say anything? It's great in Is It Artifacts. Imprint. There's a battlefield. You may exile an artifact card from your hand. Pay X tap, create a token that's a copy of the exiled card. X is the converted mana cost of that copy. Erikusu! I used Notion Thief on my opponent for instant salt. This is an underrated card, as far as I know. Black, blue, 2 generic for a 3/1 with flash. Very accurately costed for a flash creature. If an opponent would draw a card, except the first card they would draw in each of their draw steps, instead, that player skips the draw and you draw a card. I thought you'd like draw each.
Modern legal.
I thought you drew a card for every single time they draw a card, so you like stole all their card draw. Just swipe it up. Broman's back. Broman loves super chats. Another card. Mana Gorger Hydra. The Mana Gorger! Alright, green 2 generic for a 1/1 Hydra. Trample. Whenever a player casts a spell, put a counter on Mana Gorger Hydra. Yes, yes! More spells. Make a big Hydra. As big as it can get. Okay, this is an awkward. Isochron Scepter. Okay, you know what? I will accept this. I don't... Is this card, like, competitive? I know it's in a lot of decks. I try to make it work in everything, even mono green, just to throw heroic intervention on it. Okay, pay to imprint. Whatever. I think everyone knows what this card is. You get to copy two mana cards or less. Well, then you can go read it after the show. Okay, as a one-on-one competitive player, this card is hot trash. No one can make this card work. But if I understand correctly, because I've seen some competitive Commander videos, and this showed up sometimes. Like, this shows up in some decks, which, like, boggles my mind. It doesn't look like it should be competitive, in my opinion. Welcome back, Falky. Welcome back. Haven't seen you in a while. Are any of you, like, in school or something? You come back on a break?
Yeah, this is school. We're learning.
Oh, yes, you do steal all the card draw. Oh, beautiful. Okay, Pedgeman. Stonehorn Dignitary. Oh, I know this one. Used to play him in my pod deck, then start making copies of him. Use Vents or Planeswalker to simply lock out aggro decks. Absolutely. Okay, I've been locked out by this card myself. It's a white 3 generic 1/4 Rhino Soldier, but when it enters the battlefield, target opponent skips his or her next combat phase. So the deal is, if you can blink this every turn, nobody can attack you. And they're locked out. And if they depend on attacking you, it's GG. I mean, it's just completely game over.
It's also a Rhino.
It's also a Rhino, if you're into that sort of thing.
Crashing Footfalls has some new tech.
Loki Faison with the really old tech of using the question marks. Underworld Dreams. Combined with Megrim all day. Black, black, black. I like the picture. I like the casting cost. I like the name. It's an enchantment. Whenever an opponent draws a card, it deals 1 damage to that player. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Dreams are one more form of torment. I didn't know this card existed.
Modern legal.
Not playing it. The Goblin Trash Masters. Thanks so much, guys. Siege Rhino. Are you secretly what's his name? Diamond.
Dallas Page.
No, I can't remember. The Siege Rhino Abzan Diamond something Diamond or Diamond something.
Co-Diamonds.
Co-Diamonds. That's right, you know. Co-Diamonds loves this card. Green, black, white, 1 generic, 4/5 trample. Enters the battlefield, each opponent loses 3 life and you gain 3 life. It's the modern day Thrag. I don't know, it was the more modern day Thragtusk. Now I don't know what would be the Thragtusk of today. I don't know, maybe the what's it called, that 5 mana 6/6 green creature.
If they got rid of
Enters the battlefield.
If they got rid of that stupid tent, he could carry all those people. There'd be room for everybody up.
Well, I think there's room for everyone up there as it is, but he won't let anybody. This is my Rhino. It's all mine. Get off my Rhino. Alpha Nerd with the super chat. Thank you very much. I'll give you I'm running out of sound effects for all these super chats. Lightning Crafter with Thornbite Staff. Lightning Crafter is a red 3 generic 3/3 Goblin Shaman. Champion a Shaman or Goblin. And it tap deals 3 damage to a creature or player. It's a lightning bolt. I didn't know this. It's literally lightning bolt on a creature.
Modern legal.
Jesse's like, I hate that damn Rhino. Okay, Michael says Isochron Scepter works with dramatic reversal as long as you can produce 3 or more mana. Okay. So that's the only purpose? That's the point of it. Okay, Falky trying to get in here. Goblin War Marshal. I guess it's Goblin War Marshal. What? Goblin. Oh, it must be something else. War Marshal. Oh, it's Mog War Marshal. It's question mark strat old. You said it before. Yeah. Yeah, it's super old. When this show used to be around, if you had a question, it was easier to find the questions if you used question marks around it. Okay, Mog War Marshal, red 1 generic 1/1 with Echo. It's not a very exciting card, but it's a pretty useful combo card. Enters the battlefield, get a 1/1 red. Whenever it enters the battlefield or dies, get a 1/1 goblin creature token. So don't worry about not paying the Echo. Corbinik, thank you very much for the super chat. What is this? Shizo, the Caretaker. Black 4 generic for a 2/2 spirit. When a creature with power 1 or less is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, you may return that card to the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step if Shizo's Caretaker is still in the battlefield. So that things don't die. Why has your brother got an Australian accent? You have an Australian accent? Where the hell did that come from?
You know, he's not the first person to say that on this channel.
Yeah. Or maybe it's the same person.
It's possible.
Oh my god, Demigod of Revenge.
I do want to go to Australia someday. You got kangaroos all over the place.
Yeah, you get off the plane. Where's the kangaroos? Just immediately disappointed. You go back to Canada. All right, we got. I've lost this card in Modern once. Okay, it's Rakdos for a 5/4 flying haste. When you cast a Demigod of Revenge, return all cards named Demigod of Revenge from your graveyard to the battlefield. It was like some deck that was using, I don't know, Faithless Looting or something, and eventually got to 5 mana and they slammed their Demigod of Revenge and brought all the other ones back. We got Eric Kusu here. Still trying to make 1,000-Year Storm work. Keep trying. I'm pretty sure this is a deck. I could have sworn this is a deck already. Red, blue, 4 generic. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it for each other instant and sorcery spell you've cast before it this turn. You may choose new targets for the copy. I'm pretty sure everyone was like really groaning at the sight of this card the moment that it was printed. Oh god, they printed a card literally with the word storm on it. Nothing good's gonna come out of this. Akemitsu with Cartographer. Oh, that's a total donut, if I remember correctly. Green 2 generic for a 2/2. When it comes into play, return target land card from your graveyard to hand. Why not put it on the battlefield? And we gotta regurgitate some of them lands. These days, people would just play what? Crucible of Worlds? It's a strictly worse Crucible of Worlds. Okay, no, actually that's not true. You get to block with this thing. You can block with it. Block, my Cartographer. Block. Get in the red zone.
Cartography is maps.
Approaching Calamity. Thank you very much for the super chat. Diabolic Vision. Saw a few weeks ago and fell in love. Blue and black, sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the rest on the top of your library in any order. It's like a weird impulse. I don't get it. Why would you play this over impulse? So so I guess the thing that you like about it is you get to stack your deck. Look at the top 5 cards, put one of them into your hand, the rest on top of your library in any order. Okay, it's like a super brainstorm. The way I'm reading this. Tristan, Tethered Griffin. So it's tethered to the ground. 1 white for a 2/3 flyer. When you control no enchantments, sacrifice Tethered Griffin. Ah, so you have an enchantment in play. Outside of that, it is a sweet 1 mana 2/3 creature. Still a rare. It's part of the reserve list.
No.
BBOK. Elite Arcanist. Got an infinite combo with Trident Tactics. Are you crazy? Elite Arcanist. How does this combo with Triton Tactics? All right, blue 3 generic 1/1. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile an instant card from your hand. So Triton Tactics, which, if I believe, it gives the creature hexproof and you get to untap it. So pay X, tap, copy the exiled card. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. X is the converted mana cost of the exiled card. How do you go infinite with this? Because you have to pay 1 for the Triton Tactics. Copy the exiled card. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. Exiled is the... You need to exile something. Got an I guess you had infinite mana. I don't know, and I still don't even know what you do with this infinite combo, but you do it. You do something with it. Woodland Chef. Dragon Brood Mother. My favorite dragon since Alara. Is this one of the OG ones? No, it's Alara Reborn. I think it is sort of OG. Okay, so green, red, red, red. 2 generic for a 4/4 flyer. At the beginning of each upkeep, put a 1/1 red and green dragon creature token with flying and devour 2 into play. As the token comes into play, you may sack any number of creatures. It comes into play with twice that many +1/+1 counters on it. You had a good first impression of this card. I'll always try to make Mimic Vat fit if I can. There's always room for Mimic Vat. Okay, 3 generic. Imprint. Whenever a non-token creature dies, you may exile that card. If you do, return each other card exiled with Mimic Vat to its owner's graveyard. And pay 3, tap, create a token that's a copy of a card exiled with Mimic Vat. It gains a haste. Exile at the beginning of the next end step. Sweet stuff. Julia Bin. Cartographer is strictly worse than Ramanap Excavator. True story. Very strictly worse. Insanely worse.
Cubone in his avatar.
Is there a Cubone in here? Oh, there is a Cubone. I missed it with all that other garbage around there. Rummaging in the back lane. Okay, Arikusu, thank you very much for the super chat. Of course, me being a Lorwyn baby, Sig River Guide. You're in the right place. You're in good company. Although, yeah, I know a lot of people... The first thing people ask me when they splash white in Merfolk, Nikachu, can we play the Sig River Guide? And I'm like, we have no mana to protect anything. Blue-white for a 2/2 with Island Walk. It's legendary. And yes, if you pay a white 1 generic, you get the prove 1 color to target creature. You just never have the mana up, though, which is the problem. What do we got here? EH. Chew. Is it a real card? You made this up. My favorite creature from my favorite tribe.
There he is.
What, the Crab Ooze Horror tribe? So black, 3 generic for a star 4. Its power is equal to the number of crabs, oozes, and horrors. And horrific symbiosis. At the beginning of your end step, exile up to 1 target creature card from an opponent's graveyard. If you do, create a token that's a copy of Uchulan. Its power is equal to the number of crabs, oozes, and horrors you control. Does it count all 3, or does it just count as 1? I would imagine just 1. Well, which one do you want? Christopher, you name an old ton. Okay, Drove of Elves. We'll look at Drove of Elves. Looks like Christopher loves a lot of cards out there. Green 3 generic for another one of these star creatures. Hexproof. Power and toughness are each equal to the number of green permanents you control.
Modern legal.
You just love that.
Yeah,
all right.
It means you can play it.
Scatherialt GTS. Una, Queen of the Fae. The Dimir 3 generic 5/5 flying wizard fairy. Pay a Dimir and X. Choose a color. Target opponent exiles the top X cards of their library. For each card of the chosen color exiled this way, create a 1/1 blue and black fairy rogue creature token with flying. Sweet creature. Limer is in the chat. I really like Fate Spin. Oh, Fate Spinner's a sweet card. It does. It gives a ton of dynamics because you have to skip like a phase or something. So blue 1 generic for a 1/2 human wizard. And now at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, that player chooses draw step, main phase, or combat phase, and you gotta choose one to skip. The player skips each instant of the chosen phase. So you're gonna attack. Or you want to play spells.
And it's modern legal. And it's blue. You can play this.
Yeah, I can put it in my Merfolk deck.
Yeah.
Tura loves Demolich. Still trying to make this card work in my Pioneer Mono Blue Delver deck. Why don't you just play it? Why don't you just play it in a Arclight Phoenix deck? Like, doesn't that just directly work? It's a 4/3 creature, costs a blue less for each instant and sorcery spell you've cast this turn. And of course, when it attacks, exile up to one target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard. You can copy it. You may cast the copy, and you can cast it from your graveyard. All around great card. Alpha Nerd. Vexing Devil is a favorite of mine. Oh god. Like, what deck can play this card? Like, nothing. And it's worthless in Commander. Okay, not hating. No hating. You love the Vexing Devil? Go for it. This should be the thumbnail card. Okay, this is going to be the thumbnail card. Weird card to have on Valentine's Day, but it's got red. It'll have a nice pink heart next to it. Cards that we love but don't really fit. Eating my Gideon Hot Pockets and watching a handsome streamer. Oh, thank you very much. This is the best Valentine's Day. You too. Greetings!
So is the Hot Pockets thing real?
Oh, did you buy like the Magic 30 Arena Hot Pockets? Someone posted on, I don't know if it's real, but someone posted a picture on Twitter of like Magic 30 Hot Pockets. Really weird thing. Rage Kitty with Eye of the Storm. Is there a song like that? Eye of the Storm?
Eye of the Tiger.
Eye of the Tiger. Maybe that's what I was thinking about. Did we look at this one? Blue, 5 generic for an enchantment. Whenever a player plays an instant or sorcery spell, remove it from the game. That player copies each instant or sorcery card removed from the game with Eye of Storm. For each copy, the player may play the copy without paying its mana cost. That is a tongue twister. Say that a billion times fast.
No.
We got... Did I miss a super chat?
No.
We got the Vexing Devil. Stranger Candy. Pretender's Claim. Isn't it fun when you comment and then the streamer highlights your comment like that? It makes you feel like you're part of the show. All right, black 1 generic enchant creature. Whenever enchanted creature becomes blocked, tap all lands defending player controls. What a weird card! Whenever enchanted creature becomes blocked, tap all lands defending player controls. All right. You block me, you tap, all your lands get tapped. Oh, I love this card. Flame Tongue Kabu. I wish they just put this in Modern. They put a really watered down version in Modern. But it's 4 mana for 4/2, deal 4 damage to a creature. I think that's pretty sick. Pretty cool card. What the hell is this? From Bread. Miko Loth, the best / worst token deck finisher?
Mikoloth Lettuce.
The hell is this? Green 3 generic for a 4/4 with Devour 2. Oh, that was the same mechanic we saw from that dragon. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 green sapling creature token for each 1/1/1 counter on Mikoloth. Okay.
This is good tech with that Thallid.
Oh yeah, at the beginning of upkeep, create a 1/1. Yeah. Diego with Karma. The Karma. White 2 generic enchantment. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, Karma deals damage to that player equal to the number of swamps he or she controls. Oh my god. Imagine throwing the commander player who gets hit with this. You got this in the main deck? Of course, everyone has swamps. A Wing of Shu with the super chat. Basilisk Caller. Basilisk Caller. Where's the OG one? Here we go. The doggy. The pit bull looking thing. 1 mana. Equipped creature has Death Touch and Lifelink. It makes it, I want to say like that makes it sound like the pit bulls are deadly. And Equip 2.
It's cheap.
It's a super popular card. They've reprinted 1,000,000 times and people still play this card.
It's very cheap to play, cheap to equip. And it's modern legal.
And it's really annoying when a Walking Ballista is equipped with this thing. It's absolute nonsense. Armageddon with the Muxus with the mirror match. Oh god. Muxus. Enters the battlefield, reveal 6 cards, put all the goblins in play. And put +1/+1 counter on each. Sorry, whenever Muxus attacks, it gets +1/+1 for each goblin that was oh no, just for each goblin you control.
If they killed him, they could all sit in the chair.
Well, that's what they do. If you can launch him with a grenade launcher, or what's it called?
Slingshot.
No, there's specifically a card that they launch goblins. Charbelcher. We've got no, sorry, this one, David, Ashnod's Coupon. I didn't know they have discounts in the multiverse. Oh, this is a fake card. Whatever. Okay, Ashnod's Coupon. 0 mana. Sack Ashnod's Coupon. Target player gets you target drink. Who doesn't like that? You pay any cost for the drink. You must pay all costs.
Limited time
drink.
offer. Void where prohibited. Limit 1 per purchase. Valid only in participating duels. This coupon is non-transferable and invalid if shattered, crumbled, deformed, pillaged, or otherwise disenchanted. Cash value less than 1/20th of a cent. Offer not valid in Quebec. Oh, screw them.
It sounds like it needs to be a near mint for it to be valid.
You also can't play it in Rhode Island for some reason.
All right, Ryan. Well, they got different laws there around coupons, probably. Ebony Fly. 2 generic artifact. Enters the battlefield tapped. Tap, add a generic mana. Pay 4. Roll a d6. Until end of turn, you may have Ebony Fly become an XX insect artifact creature with flying, where X is the result. And whenever it attacks, another target attacking creature gains flying until end of turn. What a bizarre card! It's a mana rock that you can turn into a bizarre creature that randomly gives your creatures flying. Just very, very, very random. Everything's random.
It's good.
Okay, Black Gamma, Urtai's Meddling. Blue X, when target spell is successfully cast, put X delay counters on it. Oh yeah, this weird card. X cannot be 0. During each upkeep of that spell's caster, remove a delay counter from the spell. If the spell has no delay counters on it, it resolves. So it's a way of countering spells without actually countering spells. Put X delay counters on it. And so you have to put... So you want to pay at least 1 to put 1 delay counter on it. It's very interesting. From I can't pronounce the middle part. Spoils of Evil. The Squirrel Avatar person. Okay, black 2 generic interrupt. For each artifact or creature in target opponent's graveyard, add 1 colorless mana to your mana pool and gain 1 life. Good late game card. Good late game card. Oh, Metalworker. This is a cool card. It's just very expensive. Pay 3 mana for a 1/2. Then tap, reveal any number of artifact cards from your hand, and add 2 generic mana for each card. So what is this? A Curil equals squirrel in French. Oh, okay. We'll just call him Squirrel then. Squirrely. What do we got here? Okay, we'll go with you, Pedgeman. Elvish Promenade. Elvish Promenade. Use this in Elf Ball, even though no one seemed to use it. I thought it was really great with Heritage Druid and allowed to go ham, especially with Regal Force to keep going. So it's just that's an elf sorcery. Create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token for each elf you control. Didn't I play this? I guess I didn't play it in Pauper. Someone played this against me and I got crushed. Oh, Pete with Donate. I love the picture on Donate. It's actually one of my favorite pictures. This guy's having a hell of a time. Probably making a TikTok to show the prank video that they're making here. In this video, we're gonna bombard someone with Beebles. They're gonna open the box and Beebles will go all over them. Yeah. Oh no, we're gonna cast a Beeble bomb. Everyone, I'm here and we're gonna trick someone with the Beeble bomb on campus. Campus pranksters initiate new students with the old Beeble bomb. Ah! Those new first freshmen. Okay, moving on.
What's up, people?
These little
I see them, but
dorks.
Are they like?
I don't know
Is
what
this
they
their
do.
only appearance in the Magic lore?
Probably.
That's stupid.
I guess anytime you go to Dominaria, there could be a Beeble. How about Seasons Past? Why not? I used it in an Uro EDH deck solely because I love it. That's the whole point of the show. Green, 4 generic sorcery. Return any number of cards with different converted mana costs from your graveyard to your hand. Put Seasons Past on the bottom of its owner's library. You know, honestly, a card that I love but I think sucks, and people are gonna debate me here. Consecrated Sphinx. And I say this because this card I don't think is very good in competitive Magic. It's just too expensive and too win more. But under any other circumstances, if you get this thing in play, it is the most satisfying card I've ever played in my life because I draw 2 cards every turn. And I don't even have to work for it. It's just like you take a turn and I get cards. And if you try to get any more cards outside of that, I get even more cards. So, anyway,
That's
some
a
people...
great card.
I know, but it's 6 mana, which makes it like basically unplayable in any competitive formats. I know it's a super popular card in Commander. Well, I guess that's it. That's it for today. Thank you very much for being here, sharing the love of Valentine's Day and the love of your cards with my brother here today. If you want to be part of the show, be here at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. For everyone on the show today, I'm going to be late. I'm sorry, I'm going to be very... I'm sorry, no, everything's going to be normal tomorrow. Because tomorrow's Wednesday. Forget everything I just said. Everything runs as normal. Thank you very much for all the support, all the super chats, everyone who's a member on YouTube and also a patron on Patreon. Thank you very much. But most importantly, thank you guys for showing up. Thank you very much, Abzo, Diego, Zerathur, Zik, Lokify, Abzo, Shamui, Diesel. We got Abs, Michael Praise, Joel, David, Lokify, Falky, Stranger Candy, because without all you guys, I got nothing. I'd have no show. You guys are the show. So as usual, keep brewing up them coffees, and we'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you